I need a divorce, but I'm afraid of the financial consequences. Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law. And in these times of economic uncertainty, we're talking to more and more people who know that they need to move on, but are afraid to do so because they are afraid of what that will do to their financials. We have people on both sides of this. We have people who are the primary earners for the family, and they're afraid that if they make the move, then they're going to be in a position where they have to support a soon to be ex, support the children, and it's going to be really, really difficult for them to have their own household, and they feel like they can't afford it. On the other side of that, we have people who are the primary care parents or are taking care of the household and they don't earn a lot of money. They're dependent on a spouse who is financially stronger. And these people who don't earn as much money are afraid of making a move because they are afraid that they are not going to have the financial support they need to actually make that move and be able to take care of themselves and the children. And my challenge to everyone out there who is in this situation is to actually gather information and make an educated decision instead of freezing and succumbing to fear. So there's a big difference between making a decision that this is not the best move for you or this is not the best time for you to do it, and being more passive and just allowing day after day to go by without actually gathering the info you need and making a decision about this. So the challenge is to gather the info and to actually make a decision. And so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons of moving toward divorce. You have to ask yourself, what is the cost of staying in this relationship right now? What is the cost long term of staying in this relationship? What is it doing to your mental health? What is it doing to your overall well being? If you have children, understanding that any impact that it has on you necessarily trickles down to your children. And then on top of that, what is the current arrangement doing to your children psychologically? So aside from what just you're passing on in terms of if it's negatively impacting you, the children will feel it. What are the children sensing in the home? And is that an environment you want them in for the foreseeable future? Then what you need to do is you need to gather the information that you need to make an educated decision about whether or not you should move forward. You can do that by talking to an attorney, and if you need help, getting the help of a financial professional to size up your particular circumstances. So the attorney is going to give you an idea of what this would look like walking away from the marriage. In other words, will you be getting support? If so, approximately how much? How are the assets likely to be divided? So that you have some basic information to work with in order to analyze what kind of change this would require in order for you to move on. And sometimes it's as simple as you go to a bank and you discuss refinance options, or you can talk to an accountant about what it's going to look like with this kind of cash flow. But there are also professionals who can help you with financial planning and figuring out to a more kind of specific degree how this will impact your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month life and your ability to afford your new setup. But the bottom line here is that you want to be deliberate about this and you want to be intentional about this. People that get themselves into a bad spot, either financially or in terms of their overall wellness, are people who just don't act out of fear. So these people are understandably afraid to move forward, but instead of gathering the information, they just freeze and they just go day by day and live the same life. And unless your marriage and your relationship with your spouse is improving, then that can be a really long and difficult road. And sometimes there's no end in sight. So the important thing is to be deliberate about it, gather the info you need so that you can make an educated decision. If you have any questions about this, you can call us 508-675-0464. You can email us at info@fariasfamilylaw.com. If you found this video helpful, you can like, subscribe, share, and you can find us on social media at Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.